What's going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and we are here today to do my first character guide, hero guide, Elune guide. I think we're just gonna call them heroes. I don't really know, but I wanted to do one. I've been dying to do one because it's just, I want to see how well I can do it. I guess it's like a test to myself. And the first character that I wanted to do is Vann. This character I've been using for a long time, pretty much since the beginning. As soon as I was destined to fall into her, once I did my summon video, I already knew that she was good. I always heard rumors that she was good, but how good is she? Let's go over first to the skills to check out what the character actually does. First off, we have the bomb drop, which is the S1. Commands a drone to drop bombs, dealing magic damage to an enemy. I'm not gonna go over specifically what it says there, you know, unless it's something special. Her S2 is going to be 0 cost, but there's a reason for that. Shockwave device drop commands a drone to drop a device that releases a shockwave, dealing magic damage to an enemy and 20% chance of inflicting a physical effect that causes paralysis for 2 turns. Chance of inflicting paralysis increases by 20% for each soul used. Up to 4 souls can be used. So it starts off at 0. That means it's 20% with nothing. But if you want to get it up to 100% chance, you use 4 souls, and then it will be 100% chance to inflict paralysis. That 100% has to still go against the physical resistance of the enemy. So it's not 100. Just because it says 100% doesn't mean it's going to land. It can still be resisted. Last but not least, we have the CB Makato beam. I don't know, the Makato, I don't know. Anyway, it fires the Makato ultimate particle beam, the essence of the starship's technology, to deal magic damage to an enemy. Increases damage by 20% for each soul used. Up to 8 souls can be used. Now I have to show this in the actual codex because this is going off of mine is at level 6, this one's at level 4. So let's go into the actual index to see exactly how it starts off. So we'll consider that just a nice little spoiler. So actually this one starts off, it's the same pretty much. This one's pretty much the same, but this one actually does not start off at 20% for each soul. It actually starts off at 10. Then when you max it out, it goes to 20 souls, 20%. I keep saying souls. 20% per soul used. Use 8 souls, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Now, as far for the S2, it does have 2-turn paralysis, and then when you max it out, as you can see here, it actually turns to 3 turns. It's actually one of the best things about her is that she has a no cooldown paralysis that's always there and pretty much always has a chance to do something. But if you have at least 4 souls, it's gonna be very, very likely you're gonna paralyze, immobilize, not let them do a turn, them for 3 turns, and 2 at least when you first get her. Most S1s unfortunately usually don't gain anything. From what I've seen, they don't gain anything but additional damage. Now, as you can see here, these are her 3 passives. So this one is unlocked when you first get the character. I think they're always, the passive one is always activated. When attacking an enemy, copies and takes a random buff from that enemy for her own use. Pretty much she'll take a buff that you have, which is really good. And it says attacking enemy, so it does not matter, you know, what skill you use, it will still try to take a buff from them, which is really good. This one activates once you're actually level 4. Increases crit rate by 5% after skill is used, up to 50%. So the more times you use skills, every time you use a skill, it will stack up until 5 times stack, which is 50%. So she gives herself a 50% crit rate boost, which is obviously pretty cool. Last but not least, when you finally get her to that lovely 6-star, when in possession of a buff, which is synergizes with this one, her stealing buffs, or obviously your team giving her a buff as well, increases the power of bomb drop and shockwave device drop by 30%. That is the S1 and the S2. So it just makes them do more damage as long as she is in possession of a buff. So even if they don't have any buffs, and if you're using her the way we're all going to suggest you how to use her, which is stun locking the hell out of characters, the boss or the enemy probably won't even get a turn, so you won't even have a chance to steal a buff. Still, since this is really well written, this is really good passive, even if your teammates, your Weiwei, your Stella, your other characters that give buffs give you a buff, then at least your S1 and S2 is going to be doing more damage, which is awesome. So let's look at the skills. This is the S1. This is the S2. As you can see, she got, I don't know, this is a slime, it doesn't have a gender. Gender slime, whatever, and then it got paralyzed there. And then lastly, the lovely S3. She fixes it up, gets it ready, fires straight ahead. Boom. Awesome. As you can see, it does a lot of damage here, but it also does a lot of damage, I was gonna say IRL, but I guess in the game, ITG. There she is again. Flies off, comes down dripping. Whoop. Her lovely machine kind of reminds me of Troublehorn in Overwatch. Now, important thing to note, I also want to point out her stats. She has 21,000 HP, which is really good. Well, actually, I don't even know how good that is in comparison to other characters. It's the first guide that I did, so you guys can let me know about her stats, how good it is. Her attack speed is 106. From what I heard, I think anything above 100 is relatively good. I think if you can get 110, I think that's also good. She has a crit of 84, crit power, which I'm assuming is crit damage in this game, and no accuracy, and evasion is 11. Attack 5300. Magic defense is 27, and then also the physical defense is also 27 as well. So I have no idea how great these things are, and as far as in comparison to other characters, but when you're using Chloe, you're not comparing her to other characters. What you're using her for is the special attack, or the S2 as I like to say. This paralysis is immaculate. Why is it? Let's go to the actual bosses in the game. Now, what is also really cool in this game is that you can actually check all the bosses, all the stages, and what they do, how much damage they do, and the resistances and all that good stuff inside of the game before actually going and suffering and wasting stamina, which is immaculate, by the way. Absolutely love this. So when we're here with the Trent, you can actually click this icon right up here on the upper left hand. You can see some of the stats there, but what you want to see are these stats, where they actually have low resistance and high resistance too. Paralyzation is a physical thing, so depends on the physical resistance to see if it's going to go through. As you can see on stage 1, it's 0, and they actually have some resistance to curse, nature, and spell. Let's bring it all the way down here, and you can still see for the Trent, the lowest that they have there at 213 is still going to be physical resistance. What this means is that Chloe is very likely can keep this Trent, even at stage 10, completely isolated and locked up. And luckily for this type of enemy, the Trent is the one that actually gives you the Great Spirit gear set. Another great thing in this game is that you can go here, right over to gear, and then you can actually see all the gear in the game. So the Great Spirit, now if it's a 3-piece set, 10% attack speed for 2 turns when the attack lands as a crit, which is also synergizes with the way that her actual kit works, because when you get paralyzed, I did not mention that. I'm a bad boy. I forgot to mention like the most important thing. This lovely sheet here, physical. These are all the physical status effects that are in the game. So depending on the resistances that we just showed, each of these things are gonna go against those. Either they're gonna have protection against it, pure immunity towards some of it, be susceptible to some of it. So paralysis is, not only does it prevent actions, all damage taken is crit damage. So it makes everything a crit. So a lot of characters in the game not only synergize off of it, but the Great Spirit gear set, legendary gear set, also works when you're actually critting. Last but not least, the 6-piece set, act once more at a 15% chance, means you can take additional turns. So the really cool thing that you can do with Chloe is actually by allowing her to S2, and then maybe you get another proc, and then you can S3 immediately. If your S2 is actually leveled even higher, you have the 3 turn, which means you can definitely S2, paralyze them, and then get the S3 on your next turn. Another thing that you can do is swap to her and then use that combination as well. You can also put her on the corrupt set as well, which is not that bad. One, you're getting free souls, which, as you guys know, is great for her. The souls, since she consumes the souls. She's also really cool because you can, like, if you have 1 or 2 souls left over, you can just boop, just kind of like gain more souls a little bit easier, and then she can spend them before you get them refreshed. And also this nice little bonus here is good too. Free attack at the beginning of every odd turn. Awesome stuff here, guys. So I think these are the 2 better sets, Corrupt, Elune, or the Great Spirit. More leaning towards the Great Spirit. Great Spirit is great on anyone. It's great. The Great Spirit is good on anyone. Just because of the act once more. It's really, really strong. It's another free turn for literally no reason. So we have the Trent, who has very low physical resistance, so it's going to be very easy for you to land stuff on him. Then you just kind of go through each boss and see which one is going to be easier. Now you're going to have a little bit of difficulty. As you can see, it has 1200 physical resistance, so it's going to be a little bit harder to do this boss. As far as Ayame, I don't know how to say his name. I think it's easier to actually stun up this one, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, C400. So when you guys are looking for how good a character is and how likely they're going to be able to do certain things, definitely go to the bosses menu. You can go straight to stage 10 or go to the stage that you're stuck on, but it's pretty much going to be reflective of the same thing. So as I said, we're looking at him. Stage 10, he has low physical resistance. So that's how you guys could see. So let's, boom, we're going to go over to him. You could actually still paralyze this guy, and he has a pretty high one. So him and the robot, and I can attest that it is very hard to paralyze him because he has high physical resistance. Now when it comes to the mummy boy, you actually will see down here Emperor's Dignity, immune to action disable, control disable, zombie despair, and healing received down. So you can't paralyze this guy, and same thing with Damocles. You can't do it to him either. He has it right here. Ice Dragon's Presence, immune to action disables and control disables. When it comes down to the first four, you can use paralyzation tactics. This one obviously being a little bit more difficult because you kind of need a physical and magic damage source. You're going to need a physical CC character for this character, and then you're going to use Chloe specifically for this character. So that's just pretty much how that goes. For this one, physical resistance is pretty high. His resistance on a lot of things are pretty high, but you can stun lock him up. It's just, I just have to make sure that you guys understand that you can do it. It's just a little bit harder. You're gonna wanna weaken his resistance with characters like Gaiansara is a really good one because his passive, actually his first passive reduces resistance rate by 10% when they have an amulet. He puts amulets on characters when he attacks them. Charlotte also has a passive one. I call them P1s actually. She needs to get attacked for it to happen, but she can lower the resistance as well. And there's probably other characters. I don't want to spend a billion years on it, but just saying that if you want to stun lock that boss, you're going to need to lower his resistances a little bit to lock him up. Now what I like to do, especially if I'm in a stage that I have no business on, I actually wait till Chloe's turn. I don't use any of the souls, but as you can see, I do use Gaiansara, and because look, you just auto boom, the amulet. This is the amulet right there. So now he has technically less resistance, so I'm hoping that, you know, that's why these lands as well. And then we're gonna go for the paralyze. I still haven't maxed mine out, but you can say boom, it landed all good and well. Whoa, there we go. Actually clutched it out there. Fully paralyzed the entire time. There goes the music. I don't know why that glitch is happening. Look, I even got a really good giant great spirit arrow, and I also got a golden knight set there. So obviously that is literally the strategy. Doesn't matter. You can literally do that from stage 1 all the way down to stage 10. It does not matter. I love it, absolutely, and it's purely off the basis of her. Not that the other characters don't matter, it's just that you have characters that supplement it. I even had Mana in there at one point because I would just have Mana reset her turn, so if I needed to, she could do the double S2 if I needed it, or S2 into S3, and you could do that. You could also do that for here, but Proto, you're probably better finding someone that goes through his resistances a little bit better. Oh yeah, I forgot about the skill gems. They are blue, blue, violet. Should I actually forgot to, so I can get that, so I can be like the cool kids and get that 3-turn paralysis now. That's what we need. So I just maxed that out, and I could just even max out her S1 just for additional damage, but I'm gonna save that for the other, so some of these other lovely epic characters. And with the ending of this video, let me know another character you might want me to go over. I definitely have a lot of ones. I could go over this guy because I have him +2 and he's about to get another one. He's gonna be +3 transcended just because the game keeps giving him to me. You know, you gotta take what you get. You know, that's how this game works. You kind of like take what you get and then just keep fusing it, and you know, next thing you know, you have a +3 awakened staff boy. But anyway, remember, every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.